Hello students. In the last class we have discussed about the basics of respiration, introductory part, and the difference between the aerobic and anaerobic mode of respiration. Today we have to discuss about glycolysis process. Okay, in the respiration, glycolysis is the first cellular step. Means in any cell, when the respiration process is start, the first reaction is known as glycolysis. Glycolysis. Okay, so here we will discuss like what do you mean by the glycolysis. Glycolysis is a Greek word in which glycos plus lysis, these two terms can be we can see here. Glycos means sugar, and lysis means splitting. So here in the glycolysis, sugar will be split. Okay, and this glycolysis process is, in short, it is known as EMP pathway because of its discoverer. E, M and P, these three scientists discovered this pathway. First one is Gustav Embeden. So Embeden, E. Otto Meyerhoff, M for the Meyerhoff, and J. Parnas. So P from the Parnas. Embeden, E. Meyerhoff, M, and Parnas, P. EMP. Therefore, in short, it is also known as EMP pathway because of its discoverer. Embeden, Meyerhoff, and Parnas. Okay. So if you talk about anaerobic organisms, means those organisms which respire in absence of oxygen. It is the only process in the respiration, because the rest process like the Krebs cycle will not take place here in case of anaerobic organism, because mitochondria will be absent, either mitochondria will be absent or oxygen availability is absent there. Therefore, they do not utilize the Krebs cycle for the further breakdown of the glucose. Okay, so in case of anaerobic organism, we can see only glycolysis process is there for the breakdown of glucose. Okay, and this glycolysis process in a cell, where it is taking place? In a cell, glycolysis is taking place in the cytoplasm. Okay, and present in all the living organism, because this is the common pathway. Glycolysis is the common pathway of the respiration process, and in every living organism, at least cytoplasm is present in every living cell. So glycolysis is present in all the living organism, whether it is anaerobic or it is aerobic organism. Okay. Glucose, partial oxidation to form two molecules of pyruvic acid. Glycolysis is the 10-step process, means we will discuss here the 10 reactions step by step. In the end, we will start with the glucose molecule, and after the 10 reactions, 10 sequential reactions, in the end we will get two molecules of pyruvic acid. Okay. Sucrose and storage carbohydrate can also be utilized to initiate this reaction, but they will convert into glucose ultimately, because sucrose is made up of glucose plus fructose. Other carbohydrate also is a complex carbohydrate, means complex polysaccharide may be there. When it will break down, it will convert to simpler sugar, that is glucose. So it will start from the glucose, but it can also start from sucrose and other stored carbohydrate also. Okay, so it will some steps maybe increase or decrease according to the initial substrate. Enzymes involved here in this reactions, there are 10 step processes, 10 step reactions, so 10 different enzymes also involved in this glycolysis process, like the invertase enzyme, hexokinase enzyme, isomerase enzyme, dehydrogenase enzyme, kinase enzyme, enolase, and pyruvate kinase. Okay, so you know invertase for the conversion of one form of glucose into another. Hexokinase means removal of sixth number of phosphate group, and isomerase means conversion of one form into another isomeric form. Dehydrogenase means removal of hydrogen. Kinase means removal or addition of phosphate group. Enolase means for the formation of enolic compound. Pyruvate kinase means for the formation of pyruvic acid. So different enzymes will be utilized in this way. Okay. So this is the process of glycolysis, we will discuss each and every step. Okay, so first step, this one is glucose. You know glucose formula is C6H12O6. So glucose contains 6 carbons. Okay, in the first step, this is the first step. This is the first step in which glucose get converted into glucose 6 phosphate. So when glucose convert into glucose 6 phosphate, it means its sixth number of carbon, there is addition of one phosphate group. So from where this phosphate will come from? This will come from the ATP. You can see here, this is the ATP. This ATP loses its one phosphate, which will occupy by glucose molecule, attach its on its sixth number of carbon, therefore it will convert it into glucose 6 phosphate. Means phosphate group is attached with the sixth number of carbon of the glucose, due to which this ATP will get converted into ADP. So here there is loss of one ATP molecule. Okay, because for the initiation of this reaction, first there is requirement of activation of the glucose. So how it will activate? By providing it the phosphate group. After that we will get energy also. So in the first step, glucose get converted into glucose 6 phosphate. Now this glucose 6 phosphate will convert into fructose 6 phosphate in second reaction. So this is just isomerization, because glucose and fructose formula is same. Okay, structural formula is same, some structural arrangement is different. So this is just isomerization reaction. Isomer is here. Okay, after that, in the third step, what will happen? This fructose 6 phosphate will form the fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. It means one more phosphate is attached with the fructose molecule on its first number of carbon also. So fructose 1,6 means there are two phosphate group, one on first number of carbon and the on sixth number of carbon. Okay, so there is again requirement of one ATP, which will going to break down and lose its phosphate group, which will occupied by fructose 6 phosphate to form fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. Okay, now we will discuss about the fourth step. Fructose 1,6 bisphosphate now converted into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Means in the fructose 1,6 bisphosphate there are 6 carbons, 6 carbon. Now it will break down, it will split into two compounds, each having 3 carbons, So one is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and there is dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Okay, in short we can say it G glyceraldehyde means Ga3P, or the gap, you can say gap, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, gap 3, or and the dihydroxyacetone phosphate, it you can say DHAP, dihydroxyacetone phosphate, DHAP in short, to keep remembering. Okay, and these two compound means gap and DHAP, they can be interconvert to each other. So this is the fifth reaction, because they both are isomer of each other, so they can interchange into each other. But finally the DHAP get converted into gap, and so there will be two molecules of gap, and each molecule will convert into or follow the further steps of the glycolysis. So GAP means gap 3 phosphate, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, it will form two molecule, because this is two molecule of GAP. So in the further reactions you can see here 2, every molecule is 2 in number. Okay, so glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, or the gap, will convert into 1,3 bis phosphoglyceric acid. Okay, or you can say 1,3 bis PGA, bis phosphoglyceric acid. Okay, so this is 3 carbon molecule, and what happens here, in the GAP it loses its one hydrogen. This hydrogen is occupied by NAD plus, due to which NAD plus converted into NADH. This is also a type of energy. Okay, so how we can convert it into ATP? This we will discuss in means electron transport system, ETS, in the later part of after glycolysis. We will discuss about the Krebs cycle, and after the Krebs cycle we will discuss about the ETS process, where these NADH will get converted into ATP molecule. So how it will produce the ATP, we will discuss there. So okay, so NADH is also a form of energy which will convert into ATP later in the respiration process. So here we will get NADH. by one molecule. So there will be two molecule, because we know this GAP 3 phosphate means glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is one molecule, but this dihydroxystone phosphate will also convert into gap. So there will be two molecule. Each molecule will form one NADH. So in this way we will get two molecule of NADH in the glycolysis process in this sixth step. Okay. So one more thing which you have to observe, this one is aldehyde and this is ketone, acetone. So aldehyde and ketone both are formed from fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, but ultimately this ketone is also converted into aldehyde. Okay, so you can see here this is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. You can also understood it as phosphate like this, 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde. 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde means both are same thing. You can say glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate means GAP 3, or you can say 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde or PGAL. Okay, both are same thing. In the sixth step you get 2 molecule of NADH by the 2 molecule of PGL. After that, in the seventh step what will happen, this 1,3 bisphosphoglyceric acid, now it will lose its one phosphate group from first number of carbon, means it convert into 3 phosphoglyceric acid. Now 3 phosphoglyceric acid means its first phosphoric group is removed. So who will obtain this phosphate? Now ADP will get this phosphate and convert into ATP. And you know this is for one molecule, so 1 ATP, but there are two molecules of 1,3 bisphosphoglyceric acid, so two molecule of 3 phosphoglyceric acid will be formed. In this way 2 ADP will get 2 phosphate molecules and to form 2 molecules of ATP. So we lost one and this is 2 molecule of ATP initially, and in the seventh step we get 2 molecule of ATP. So no profit no loss up to seventh step, because 2 ATP get lost and 2 ATP get be obtained also. And in the eighth step what will happen, this phosphoglyceric acid, now it will isomerize, means its phosphate group change its position. This phosphate group of the third number get transferred to the second number, so it will convert into 2-phosphoglycerate. Now this 3-phosphoglyceric acid get converted into 2-phosphoglycerate. Okay, two molecules. And in the ninth step what will happen, this 2-phosphoglycerate get converted into phosphoenol pyruvate, means with the help of enolase enzyme enolic group will be added, due to which 2-phosphoglycerate get converted into 2 molecule of phosphoenol pyruvate. Because it is 2 molecule, so 2 molecule we will get phosphoenol pyruvate. Enolation is there, and when enolation occurs, means when enol compound will be formed, then there is release of one water molecule also. So from the one molecule, one water molecule will be released, but there are 2 molecules of 2-phosphoglycerate, so 2 molecule of water will be formed. 2 water molecule we get, and 2 molecule of phosphoenol pyruvate we get. And in the last step, in the 10th step, this phosphoenol pyruvate now lose its last phosphoric group also. This phosphate will lost, due to which ATP will be formed, because this phosphate will occupied by ADP and form the ATP molecule. When phosphate group is removed, so phosphoenol pyruvate now form pyruvic acid. And you know this is 2 molecules of phosphoenol pyruvate, so 2 molecules of pyruvic acid will be formed. Pyruvic acid contains 3 carbons, and in this way 2 molecule of ATP will be formed, because this is 2 molecules of pyruvic acid is formed, so 2 molecule of ATP. So in this way in the whole steps, in the whole glycolysis process, we get net 2 ATP. We get total 4 ATP. You can see in the 7th step 2 ATP, and in the last 10th step also 2 ATP, means total 4 ATP will be obtained by us. But in the first and in the third step we lost 2 molecules also, so 4 minus 2 we get total 2 molecules. Means if a question is asked how many net ATP is produced by the by the glycolysis process? So answer is 2. How many total ATP is produced in the glycolysis? Answer is 4. But when we talk about the net ATP production through the glycolysis, then answer will be 2. Okay, so this is the glycolysis process. Now this pyruvic acid, which contains 3 carbons, this is up to the glycolysis, this glucose is not completely oxidized, it is only partially oxidized. Glucose contains 6 carbons, but after this glycolysis, the pyruvic acid will be formed. 2 molecules of pyruvic acid will be formed, and pyruvic acid contains 3 carbons. So if it is contain 3 carbons, so it is known as partial digestion or partial breakdown. So it need to further break down so that we can get more energy. So the next step is Krebs cycle, which will occur in the mitochondrial matrix in case of aerobic respiration. But if we talk about the anaerobic respiration, the Krebs cycle is absent. So this glycolysis means this pyruvic acid, the final product of the glycolysis, will undergo anaerobic respiration. Either it will form the alcohol or it will form the lactic acid according to the type of cell. So this we will discuss. So this is the whole process of the glycolysis. And the anaerobic respiration is also known as fermentation. Okay, up to the glycolysis we will get these things. In the end, you can see here in the last point, pyruvic acid, when it is formed through the pyruvate kinase enzyme. Now what the pyruvic acid, what is the fate? Fate means now what is the next step when pyruvic acid is formed, means what is its future. So it's depend upon cellular need of the cell. What is the need of the cell? Either it will undergo lactic acid fermentation or alcoholic fermentation, means these two are the types of anaerobic respiration. Okay, lactic acid in case of our muscles, when doing the vigorous exercise, lactic acid is formed. So in eukaryotic cells, in anaerobic, in prokaryotic, means like the lactic acid bacteria, lactic acid will be formed from this pyruvic acid. Alcoholic fermentation in case of yeast, alcohol will be formed, ethanol, from this pyruvic acid. And third one may be aerobic mode of respiration. If the aerobic respiration is there, means oxygen is available, then Krebs cycle will be the next step, due to which this pyruvic acid will undergo complete oxidation to produce carbon dioxide and water. Means glucose contains 6 carbons, so 6 molecules of carbon dioxide will be released from this aerobic respiration. But in case of lactic acid and alcoholic fermentation, which is a type of anaerobic respiration, in this way, complete oxidation of glucose is not there, because lactic acid contains carbonic compound, organic compounds, and alcohol also contains 2 molecular carbons. So this is not a complete oxidation. Okay, complete oxidation is only taking place in the aerobic mode of respiration. So the next step is fermentation, in which we will discuss about the lactic acid fermentation in case of eukaryotic cell during the vigorous exercise, because oxygen availability is not there, therefore it is anaerobic. After that we will discuss about the alcoholic fermentation in case of yeast, because there also oxygen is not available. In absence of oxygen, the incomplete breakdown will be there, which is known as fermentation. Okay, and after that we will discuss about the aerobic mode of respiration. Okay class, so this is simple, not a complex process, very simple process. What is fermentation? This we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you class.